Alright, welcome to the 2020 P6 SCGS Mathematics Prelim Papers Booklet B answers. So grab your pen and paper and let's start. Question 16. It's ratio, so you have 18 is to 27, and they want you to convert it into 4 is to something. You might be wondering, from 18 to 4, what should I do? Right? So don't fret. So let's look at this. Let's just simplify according to how we can. Let's divide by 3 for both sides. 18 divided by 3, you're going to get 6. 27 divided by 3, you're going to get 9. Let's divide by 3 again. So you're going to get 2 is to 3, right? So 18 is to 27 is basically 2 is to 3. So from 2 is to 3, how do we make it 4 is to something? We will times 2 for both. So 2 times 2, you get 4. 3 times 2, you get 6. So your answer will be 6. Alright? Moving on. Question 17. What is the value of 408 minus away 12 divided by 2 plus 4 times 4? So brackets always come first, okay? Order of operations. So I'm going to underline what I'm doing. So when I underline, I don't mix up 2. 2 plus 4 is 6, so 6 times 4. So what should we do next? Should we do a minus, divide, or times first? As we all should know, divide and times come first, and then if you have both divide and times, we start from the left. So you have to do 12 divided by 6 first. Okay? So 12 divided by 6, you're going to get a 2. Okay? So minus and times. We do the times first, alright? 2 times 4, you get 8. So this one I don't need to underline because there's only step left. So you're going to get 400. Right? So your answer will be 400. Okay? So this is 1 mark. Very, very straightforward. But if you make any slight mistake, you're not going to get the 1 mark. So just be careful, alright? You guys can do it. Question 18. List down the common factors of 40 and 45. I like to separate it like that. Okay, so I do on different sides. 1 times 40, 2 I can times 20, 3 not possible, 4 times 10, 5 times 8, 6 is not possible, 7 not possible, 8 already here. So let's stop here. For 45 is 1 times 45, 2 is not possible, 3 I can times 15, 4 is not possible, 5 can times 9, 6 not possible, 7 not possible, 8 is not possible, 9 is right here. So if you guys are wondering how I'm doing it so fast, and just note that I've been doing it for a very long time, so for you guys, you should go and divide yourself, okay? Since you can't use calculator here, gotta do long division yourself, alright? So I'll circle the common ones, okay? 1, 1, 2 don't have, 4 don't have, 5, okay, both have a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, that's all. So your common factors are 1 and 5, and that will be your answer. Alright? So very straightforward, a little bit tedious, but guys, it's prelims, it's PSLE. They're not going to test you or be very easy on you. Okay? So I'm going to move on to question 19 as usual. If you need more time, you can always reverse it. Watch it from the start of this question. But for now, I'm going to move on, alright? Question 19. Find the volume of a 4 cm cube. Volume formula is length times breadth times height. Alright? Cubes, all same sides. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's your length, breadth, or height, it's all the same sides. Okay? So volume will be equals to 4 times 4 times 4. a little bit of order operations here, so let's underline this. 4 times 4 is 16. So 16 times 4, let's do the working together, alright? You're going to get 64. And don't forget your units. It's a cube. Oh, the units is given, so you don't need it. Okay? So I'm going to move on to question 20, alright? Okay, for question 20, in the figure below, EF is the line of symmetry. They want you to shade 2 more squares to complete the figure. So let's see, right? So this is shaded, right? So if I were to shift, that means I have to shade these two. Okay? Got it? So this is being shaded. So what else? Let's look down. This is shaded, this is shaded, cool. This is shaded, 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 shaded. This. So I need to shade where? This part. Alright, so that's it, we're done. Line of symmetry, basically symmetrical questions, right? They are questions that are really there to give you the marks. So try not to lose it, alright? Okay, so I'm gonna move on. Question 21. There's a table and we have to answer question 21 and 22, so it's related. Let's start. Durian, it's M plus $14 per kg. So M can be any number, okay? As you all know, M is algebra. So M can be 10. That means price per kg will be 10 plus 14 for durians. Peter bought 1 kg of durians and 3 kg of mangoes. How much did he spend? Express your answer in terms of M. So I always use this method, so I cannot go wrong. 1 kg goes to M plus $14. Okay, so this is for durians. And just nice he bought 1 kg. So let's do the next one. 1 kg equals to M dollars for mangoes. Okay. Three kg will be, I like to do this. Okay, so this is a divide, and then this is a times. So we take this M, divide by 1, times 3. Okay, 3 will be 3 over 1, because it's a whole number. So your answer will just be 3M. Alright, this method will never ever go wrong. Just make sure that whatever's on the left hand side are the same units, whatever's on the right hand side is the same units also. So this is the total for mangoes. So total for both fruits will just be M plus 14 plus 3M. Your answer will be $4M plus $14. Okay, so this is for question 21. Very, very straightforward, guys. And right now, right, if you realize question 21 onwards, it's 2 marks. And this gives you 2 marks. Totally worth it. So understand this before you move on. Okay? So I'm gonna move on. Question 22. Amara spent $74 on 1 kg of durians and some mangoes. If M equals to 6, how many kg of mangoes did he buy? So 1 kg of durian is M plus $14. So now they tell you M is 6, right? So 1 kg of durians equals to 6 plus 14, which is $20. Okay? So durians plus mangoes equals to $74. Okay? Means mangoes cost $74 minus away durians. Mangoes cost you $54. Okay? And since 1 kg of mango is how much? $6, because M is 6. How much is 54 kgs of mangoes? Same thing, use this method. So this is divide and this is times. So 1 over 6 times 54 over 1. So it's 54 over 6, and you're going to get 9. About 9 kg of mangoes. Okay? Okay? This method comes in really handy, so I would highly recommend it to everyone. Okay, try and understand it, then try and do it on your own also. Okay, I'm gonna move on. For question 23, in this figure, the figure below is made out of two identical quadrants. Quadrants means 1/4 of a circle, and semicircle means half of a circle. Okay, the two quadrants are here, and the two semicircles are here. Alright, so AB equals to CD. So if AB is 14, there are two semicircles, right? And they are identical also. So I can just take 14 divided by 2. Okay, so that means this is 7 and this is 7. It basically means that the diameter of my semicircle is 7 cm. Okay, CD is also 7. CD is 14, so we also can divide by 2 because it's basically the radius of the two quadrants. Okay, so 7, 7 all the way. Find the perimeter of the following figure. Okay, so there are two quadrants. Quadrants means 1/4, and pi is 22 over 7 times. The formula for circumference is, I'm going to write it here, equals to pi times diameter. So I'm doing quadrants, alright? One quarter times pi times, if my radius is 7, my diameter will be 7 plus 7. Can you follow? So 1/4 times pi times d. D is 14. Okay? Because this is the radius. Okay? I'm looking for diameter, so 14. So let us just cancel with this. So both are divided by 2. So right now, I can divide this both, cancel off these 2. Okay, because 7 and 7. Then now I have another 2. I can cancel, get 11. So basically, the quadrant is 11 cm. The curved side of the quadrant is 11 cm. Alright, so this part is 11. Okay, so that means this curved part will be the same because they're identical. Got it? So let's go to semicircle. Semicircle means half times pi times, what's my diameter? My diameter is 7. Okay, so I can just do it from here. 2 I can divide and get 11. 7 cross cross, I get 11 again. So the curved side of my semicircle, it's somehow 11. Okay, so now they want you to find the perimeter of the figure. So let's start from here. 11 plus 11 plus 7 plus 11 plus 11 plus 7. Okay, so 11, 11, 11, 11 is 44. 2 7s means 14. My answer will be 58. Got it? So my answer will be 58 cm. Okay, it's a little bit messy, but at the end of the day, it is very clear because I put this quadrant and semicircle. Okay, and I should have used a different color, but you get what I mean. Okay, we go in a direction, in a single direction. So if I'm going to start from here, then I'll go until I reach here. Okay, so try on your own, cover this. If not, watch it again, then cover it and do it on your own. It will be very beneficial. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next question now, and I'm going to clear this. Alright, Alright, for question 24, Mr. Wong bought some green balloons and yellow balloons for his class. Each of his students used a green balloon and a yellow balloon. So this second sentence just means that every student will be using 2 balloons, and one will be green and one will be yellow. So if I have 10 green balloons used, there will be 10 yellow balloons used. Okay, so let's continue. Each of his, 2/5 of the green balloons and 3/4 of the yellow balloons were left. So 2/5 of the green were left. So that means how much was used? I take 1 whole minus 2/5. 1 whole is 5 out of 5. So 3 out of 5 green used. Alright, so 3/4 yellow left. So let's find out how much yellow was used. 1 minus 3/4 equals to, this time it's 4 out of 4. So it's 1/4 yellow used. Okay? So like what I said, the second sentence says that the number of green balloons used and the number of yellow balloons used are the same. So 3/5 green will be equals to 1/4 yellow. Okay, because it's the same. Okay, so now I'm going to draw a model. G is for green. Okay, so 3/5 of green will be here. Okay, let's draw yellow. So we already know that 3/5 of green is equals 1 unit of yellow. So that means this is 1 unit of yellow. Okay, so this is 2. 3, 4. Got it? So I'll cut this so that we can deal with the same units. Okay? Alright, so 3/5 equals to 1/4 of yellow. So that's how I do it. What fraction of the total number of balloons did his class use? What is the total number of units that you can count? Okay, green has 5 units and yellow has 3 times 4, which is 12 units. Okay, total units is alright, so how much was used? Whatever I shaded, 3/5 over here and 1/4 over here are what's left. Oh no, it's what's used. So there we have it. We're gonna take 3 units from green and 3 units from yellow. So total units used is 6. So fraction will be 6 out of 17. Alright? Sometimes, right, models really help you see the question that you otherwise cannot understand. So I'll highly recommend you drawing models and try and draw it a little bit bigger. So in case we need to divide it or we need to multiply it, we can see it clearly. Okay? So this question is 2 marks and it's a little bit more tedious. It requires a little bit more thinking, but you can do it. Alright? Try and understand this question. If not, then you just reverse it because I'm going to move on. Alright, question 25. Sammy is twice the age of Tim. but half of Ray. So this sentence actually contains 3 different people. Alright, so I'm gonna try drawing. You're gonna try and follow me, alright? So Sam and Tim. Sam is twice the age of Tim. So Sammy will have 2 units. Alright? But half of that of Ray. So Sammy is half of Ray. In this case, right? Let me just erase this and then draw it such that I can make Ray on top of Sammy. That means basically Sammy will be in the middle. Okay? Let's redraw Sammy and Tim. Sammy is twice of Tim. So Sammy will have 2 units. Okay? But Sammy is half of that of Ray. So Ray versus Sammy. Ray is older. Okay? Sammy is younger by twice. So Sammy is half of Ray. So if Sammy is this much, Ray will be times 2 of Sammy. Alright? So I'm going to cut this here so that all the units are now equal. Alright? So given that Ray is 24 years old now, so Ray is 24. So there's 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, and 4 units. So 4 units equals to 24 years old. Alright? What is their average age now? Let's find their total age. 4 units, 5 units, 6 units, 7 units. Let's find 1 unit first. Use this method. I will always highly recommend this method. So this is divide and this is times. So I take 24, divide by 4 times 1 over 1. So you're going to get 6 because 24 divided by 4 is 6. Okay? So 1 unit is 6 years old. The total units is 7. So now I'm just going to take 6 times 7. I'm going to get 42. Alright? So let's find the average. There are 3 people. I'm going to draw the triangle. The average triangle will look like that. Tan. Okay, T is for total. A is average. And N is number of, in this case it's number of people. Our total is 42. Our average is a question mark. Let me draw it properly. And the number of people is 3. So our average will be equals to 42 over 3. Alright, so let's divide together. 3 divide. So we're going to get 14. Answer is 14 years old. Alright. This question actually tests you a bit on your English, especially the first sentence. Sammy is twice the age of Tim, but half of that of Ray. So you need to know that since the sentence starts with Sammy, they're actually saying Sammy is half of that of Ray and not Tim. Okay? The subject in this sentence is Sammy. Alright? So it's Sammy versus Ray for the second half of the sentence. But yeah, this is pretty straightforward for 2 marks, and try and understand it. Okay, watch, rewatch until you all get it. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Question 26. A bookshelf can withstand the weight of either 45 small books or 30 big books. So if I put 45 small books, that's the maximum it can hold. If not, I can remove all the 45 small books and I put 30 big books. Okay, obviously if I put big books, it can hold lesser books because big books weigh more. Okay, so given that it already contained 24 small books and 8 big books, how many more big books can be placed on the bookshelf? Do not be anxious when you see questions like that. Okay, let's try together, alright? So the question will give you enough information to do it, so don't be scared, alright? 45 small equals to 30 big. So that means, let's use ratio, okay? Small is to big, 45 is to 30, okay? So I can divide by 5. I'm gonna get 9. Divide by 5, I'm gonna get 6. Okay, we can divide again. Divide by 3, I'm gonna get 3. Divide by 3 on the other side, I'm gonna get 2. Alright, so that means 3 small books equals to 2 big books. Alright, so let's see. There are 24 small books right now. So that means for the small it's 24, right? 3 times what is 24? 8. So I do the same on my right hand side. It's gonna be 16. So right now, right, 24 small books there are 24 small plus 8 big books, correct? According to the question. So 24 small is actually equals to 16 big. So instead of 24 small, I'm going to write 16 big plus 8 big. Okay, so since both are bigs, I can add it. Okay, so right now on the shelf, it has the mass equivalent of 24 big books. I'm just going to call it bigs, okay? So how many more big books can be placed on the shelf? What's the total number that can be put on the shelf? 30 big, right? So what should I do now? I should take 30, which is the maximum, minus away what is on the shelf right now, which is 24 big. I'm going to get 6. Okay, 6 more big books can be placed. Alright, so this is maximum, and this is currently, and this is 6 more. Okay, try your best to understand this, because the way that I'm doing it, it's really very straightforward. Alright, I'm not using any difficult methods to do it. It's basically ratio and a little bit of manipulations here and there. Alright, so we watch it if you need, but I'm gonna move on. 27 here. The figure is made up of one big square, 3 identical small squares, and 1 circle. Okay, so the circle is half the size of a small square. So square will be 1 unit. Alright, so circle is half, correct? The size of small square, that means my circle will be 0.5 units. Okay, and since these are squares, they have the same sides. Okay, so do you realize something? The big square is actually made up of 3 small squares, 3 sides of a small square. Okay, so it's basically 3, and then there's also 3 sides of a square, another 3. So how many small squares is this big square made up of? It's just 3 times 3. Okay, so total are 9 small squares. Okay, so 1 big square equals to 9 small squares. Alright, so what fraction of the figure is shaded? Let's find unshaded first. So there's 1, 1, 1, and 0.5. That is unshaded. So total is 3.5 over 9. That's unshaded. Okay, do not leave decimals on your fractions. So let's just times 2, top and bottom, to get rid of it. So I'm going to get 7 out of 18, unshaded. Alright, so what fraction is shaded? Let's continue here. So shaded would just be 1 whole minus 7 out of 18, which is 18 out of 18 minus 7 out of 18. I'm going to get 11 out of 18. That's my answer. Alright, so this is 3 sides of a small square. So since the big square is a square, all sides are the same, that means this will also be 3 sides of a small square. And that's how we are going to divide it. I'm going to try and divide it so you can see it. So basically it's like that. Okay, so this is one small square. Alright, but basically that's it. I'm not going to draw a shade anymore because you should have understood by this point. If not, you watch it. Alright, I'm going to move on. Alright, for question 28, Alyssa cut a piece of ribbon into 2 equal pieces. The total length of 1/4 of the first piece to 1/3 of the second piece is 110 cm. What is the original length of the ribbon? Alright, so the 2 pieces are of equal length. Okay, first piece, second piece. I'm going to try and draw a model and see if it works, alright? Same length. Okay, so the total length of 1/4 of the first piece. Let me try and cut, okay? And 2/3. So whatever I shaded is 110 cm. What is the original length of the ribbon? So they're the same length. What should I do? You realize the fraction here is 1/4 and the fraction here is 2/3. What's the best thing I should do? Make the denominator the same. So once it's the same, I can actually compare it with the first and second model. Okay, so 3 and 4, my common denominator will be 12. Alright, so this one is times 4. Can you follow? So I'm probably not going to cut it because it's going to look very messy, but maybe I'll draw a new one just to show it to all of you. Alright? So 3/4, 3/12 I mean, and 8 out of 12. So whatever I shaded will be 3 units plus 8 units equals to 11 units. Okay, so 11 units equals to 110 cm. Alright, because yeah, 1/4 of the first, or 1/4, then this one is all 2/3. Okay, try your best to follow. Models really help. Alright, so let's find 1 unit. They want the original length of the ribbon. The original length of the ribbon is these two combined. So let's find 1 unit together first. Do this method, please. So it's 110 over 11 times 1/1, which is basically ten. Alright, so it's 10 cm. 1 unit is 10 cm. And I'm looking for 12 plus 12, so it's 24 units. Okay, so just 10 times 24. So you can use shortcut. Put a 24 first, then put 0 at the end. So my answer is 240 cm. Alright, and that's 2 marks for you. We'll put a divide here and times here. Alright. Take some time, digest it, cover it, redo it on your own, and that's how y'all will learn, okay? And it's really possible to get AL1 or above 90 marks, basically. Alright, so I'm gonna move on. Alright, for question 29. The figure below is made out of parallelogram and triangles. BH equals to HG equals to GF. Okay, so these three are the same. And so this means that FHG basically is an isosceles triangle, alright? So let's move on. CG is 3 times the length of GF. Okay, so BG and FC are straight lines. Okay, so given that FG equals to 6 cm, we're just going to start doing. Okay, so what is CG? It will just be 6 times 3 because it's 3 times. Okay, so it's 18 cm. Can you follow? So they want you to find the area of the figure. So let's find area of BCG first. Because BCG is basically a triangle. And since I have my base is BG. My height is CG. Okay? BG is just... So I'm going to annotate on the diagram. 6. So this will be 6 also. Then this will be 6. So it's basically half times 6 plus 6 times 18. Okay, equals to half times 12 times 18. Alright, so let's cross. So it's 6. 6 times 18. Let's do the working somewhere here. So it's 108 cm square. This 0, okay? So I've already found BCG. Now I have to find AFHB. Okay? So AFHB is a parallelogram. Okay? So this is area of BCG. Running out of space, so I'm gonna do it here. Area of it's A. I'm gonna use eraser. AFHB. Okay? Equals to base times perpendicular height. Alright, so what's the base? The base is BH, correct? So what's my height? My perpendicular height will actually be FG, or you can call it AH, okay? In this case, it's AH. So one thing to know about AH is that AH is equals to FG, so AH will also be equals to 6, okay? So BH is 6, AH is 6. My area of my parallelogram is basically 36. So let's not forget the small little triangle that I'm talking about. So I'm going to do it here next. Okay, so area of HGF equals to half times HG times FG. Alright, so it's equals to half times 6 times 6. I'm gonna cross this, so I get 3. So 3 times 6 is just 18 cm square. So find the area of the figure. You gotta add it all up. So the total will be 108 plus 36 plus 18. Alright? I'm gonna try and beautify my 6, okay? Okay. So 108 plus 36. 4, 1, 4, 1, 144. So 144 plus 18. 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, 162. And that's the answer. Alright? Okay, so the thing to know about this question is area of parallelogram. A lot of you might not be familiar with it or might have forgotten it because it doesn't really come out in questions. We do mostly area of squares, rectangles, triangles most of the time. So you gotta remember it's base times perpendicular height. Okay, don't just anyhow take a height or whatever, but it has to be perpendicular. Okay, so that's the answer. And it's a bit tedious and you might give up listening to me halfway, but if you want your marks, you want your AL1s, please just try and follow. Okay? Alright, I'm gonna move on. Alright, question 30 is a true, false, not possible to tell question. So sometimes it can get a bit tricky, but let's try our best. Mr. Tan and Mr. Nordin had some fruits. Alright? So Mr. Nordin's 40% of Mr. Nordin's fruits were oranges. Let's do Mr. N. Oranges is, you know what? I'm going to spell oranges because O looks like a 0. That's 40%. The rest were apples, so that means my apples will be 60%. Okay? Because I think 100% minus 40%. So let's go to Mr. T, which is Mr. Tan. Oranges and apples. 80% of the fruits were oranges. That means my remaining will be same thing, 100% minus 80%. I'm going to get 20%. Alright? So that's all I have. I do not have the total. I do not have anything else. So what I'll know is, for example, Mr. N has more apples than oranges. Mr. T has more oranges than apples. I wouldn't know if Mr. N has more oranges as compared to Mr. T or not because I don't know the total. Alright? So let's start doing the questions. The first question is, Mr. Nordin had more apples than oranges. Is that true? Yes, it's true. Because why? Apples, 60%. Oranges, only 40%. So if I compare, there are more apples. Okay? So this is possible to tell, and it's true. Number 2, Mr. Tan had 80 oranges. This is not possible to tell. Alright? We do not even have the total, so we cannot calculate exactly how many oranges Mr. Tan has. If the question actually put a percentage there, had 80% of oranges, then we can put true. But now they're saying 80 oranges, not true. Alright? Not possible to tell, I mean. So let's continue. Mr. Tan had more oranges than Mr. Nordin. Not possible to tell. Why? Like I said, I do not know how many oranges or apples they have. I do not have the total. So since I do not have the total, I don't know the exact value. I cannot compare. Alright? What I have is only a percentage, and a percentage can mean a lot of things. Okay? Mr. N's total can be 1,000 fruits. Mr. T's total can be only 100. Then things will be quite confusing and we need to calculate. So in this case, not possible to tell. Alright? So that's the end of Booklet B. And I hope you guys understand. This paper is not too hard, but you all need to practice and practice and practice. Cover, redo, until you can get full marks. And that's the only way you can get above 90 marks. Okay? So time is very tight, so it'll be good if you all can start early. Okay? So I'm gonna stop here. And the next video will be paper 2. And that's where the questions are a little tougher, but everyone goes through the same thing. You can do it, alright? So I'm gonna end here.